Michel Barnier has introduced a punishment clause that could see Britain slapped with trade sanctions if European fishermen are locked out of UK coastal waters in the future, EU sources have revealed. The Brussels diplomat set out plans to restrict access to the EU's market for British firms if European fishermen are largely locked out of British waters in the future. In a series of private Brussels briefings, the Frenchman accused Downing Street of backtracking on its own proposals for a 3-year transition period for fishing rights. Under the original plan, the extremely generous catch shares European trawlermen enjoy would be gradually phased down. Mr. Barnier told MEPs that Britain would have to face consequences for any future decisions to close its fishing grounds to European vessels. The Frenchman raised the prospect of economic sanctions, such as trade tariffs, being introduced to counter any such moves by Downing Street. An EU source said, the EU will maintain the link between fish and access to the internal market. Should access to fishing grounds be phased out significantly over time, so may access to relevant parts of the agreement. Despite the row over fisheries, Mr. Barnier told a meeting of EU 27 ambassadors a Brexit trade agreement could emerge this week if both sides can overcome their differences. Setting out 3 scenarios for how the talks could pan out, he said a deal could be finalized in the next few days if a fudge can be found to solve the row over access to Britain's coastal waters. But the Frenchman told colleagues he was prepared for the talks to run right up to the December 31 deadline and warned European capitals to brace for a short no-deal period if both sides need to complete the ratification process in the new year. In a meeting with EU 27 ambassadors, Mr. Barnier revealed the legal text for the Brexit deal has been largely completed while they thrash out agreements over the main sticking points. He said there had been good progress in a number of areas of the agreement, including on the final arrangements for policing the pact, according to a diplomatic note seen by Express.co.uk. Mr. Barnier told MEPs the so-called level playing field remains the most difficult hurdle to overcome and could take negotiations right up to the end of the year to finalize a compromise. He claimed Britain was asking for Brussels to offer more concessions on fishing rights to compensate for Downing Street's recent moves on the level playing field.